Hey again, Luke Wilson here with the early offseason outlook for Cooper Kupp. All right, so for Cooper Kupp owners that were hoping that we would party like it was 2021 again, Puka Nacua was not music to their ears. His arrival on the scene pretty well threw a wrench into that plans. Never mind the fact that yes, Kupp has a couple really injuries to his hamstring as he's trying to ramp up for the 2023 regular season. The second of which winds up costing him the first month of the NFL season, and maybe that's kind of what cracked open the door for Puka Nacua to come in and go wild. Looking back now, it looks like that was probably going to happen either way. Apparently, Nacua, Stafford, and Kupp were kind of peas in a pod all through training camp, so I don't really think it was that. But it certainly didn't help matters. And then once Kupp was back, his involvement in the offense, which had been metronomic when healthy the last couple seasons since Stafford's arrival in LA, even that fell by the wayside. When he finally is ready to come off the physically unable to perform list in week 5, starts hot with 21 targets, 266 yards receiving, and a touchdown over the first 2 weeks, but then he disappears for like another 6 weeks. Stafford gets injured, and Kyren Williams being out definitely threw a wrench into this offense overall. But still, it was clear that Kupp was not eating at the head of the table anymore. He kind of picked it up and put it back together down the stretch. He did score 4 touchdowns in his last 5 games, but coming out of 2023, it's definitely fair for Kupp owners in Dynasty to be wondering where things really stand. Where I think things stand right now, similar dynamic I think in play here to like Davante Adams, Stephon Diggs. Kupp does have a massive contract with the Rams, okay, and that's not nothing, okay. We like that in when we're buying any player in Dynasty. So he's very contractually secure. The Rams are not walking away from him in 2024. It would be very unpleasant for them, salary cap wise, to do so in 2025, and I just don't super think that they will do that. So I think we've got 2 years left solidly here with Kupp as a Ram. And is he going to approach the heights of his 2021 and really his 2022? Let's not forget, he was putting up the exact same numbers per week in 2022 before the middle-late season high ankle sprain derails his 2022. Is he going to return to those levels? Quite possibly not. Maybe, and you could even say probably not. That's fair. Like, yes, the Rams love to throw the ball around the yard as much as anybody, but they can only throw it so many times. And clearly, Puka Nacua is not going anywhere. They just re-signed Demarcus Robinson, and Kyren Williams is a very big part of this offense, we certainly think, going forward. So will Kupp still have wide receiver 1 days? Absolutely. And that's a big part of what I think needs to be your calculus on Kupp going forward. But is it going to be week in, week out, elite production like it was 2021, 2022? Quite possibly not. Kupp's market right now is lagging behind like Davante Adams, Stephon Diggs, in terms of what you're going to have to give up to go get him. You can go get him for a middle second round pick. And again, we can partially thank the frenzy to acquire 2024 picks that's going on in Dynasty leagues right now in the run up to the 2024 draft. So for me right now with Kupp, I certainly want to say that he's still a buy. And frankly, that was my plan to say that until news broke literally yesterday that Demarcus Robinson was re-upping with the Rams for a 1-year deal in 2024. That's not a huge deal, but considering that I was already on the fence about whether or not Kupp was a buy or he was a hold right now, I decided to go ahead and let that be the tipping point for me. I still think Kupp can give you fringe wide receiver 1 production, and he definitely will have spike games in 2024, health permitting. I'm very confident of that. But is he a smash buy right now? There is enough uncertainty, I have to admit. Even as a Kupp enthusiast, a Kupp apologist, I have to admit there is enough uncertainty right now that unless your team just needs solid, high-end wide receiver 3/flex production in 2024 and you don't care how you get it, then okay, yes, absolutely go send your trade offers for Cooper Kupp right now because you're not going to do any better than that. But short of that, bigger picture, I think he's probably a hold. And then as far as redraft in 2024, I have to think he's slid out of the first 2 rounds altogether, quite possibly into like the 4th round. And at that point, I mean, he starts to look really good because again, this is still a guy who intermittently will have those 12 target, 15 target, spike games that win you fantasy weeks. I just don't think it's going to be reliable like it has been. Early offseason outlook for Cooper Kupp. Right now, he is a hold.